Are you struggling with Laserjet image transfers? I just might be able to help.
Hello and welcome to another video of Gel with Mark. If you've seen my videos before, you know what I'm about. If you haven't, why not? Only joking. So what we're talking about here in this little video is the infamous Laserjet image transfers. Now I can't get them to work, so I was thinking, how do I get around this? Now I try to find ways of adapting methods to help me. So I used to do lino printing, and this is a method of transferring a Laserjet image onto a lino block, which I thought could be adapted for the gel plate. So what we're going to need is sticker backing paper. Now I buy mine from Amazon. It's this product here, and it is by Craft Paper. So it's just basically a big sticker. You don't want the big sticker. You want to pull that off, use it, stick it on another piece of paper, and you can print onto that. But you want that shiny backing paper. And we put it through a Laserjet printer and print our image onto the shiny surface here. As you can see, I've got this little picture I've done on an iPad. And you want to reverse it as well. Remember to reverse it in this method. So that's basically what we're going to do. But that bit comes later. What we're going to do now is get the gel plate and the print ready. So pastel pencil image transfer, like I've done in a lot of my other videos. If you've not seen them, go check them out at the end of this video. So I'm using this Pitt pastel pencil by Fabre-Castellated. It's a white one. So I didn't really want a dark line. I'm just basically tracing out the shapes of this image, what I want to fill in with colour. So I'm just going to quickly, I'm just doing it onto tracing paper. So I've put a piece of tracing paper over my image. I'm just drawing it loosely, just the block shapes, just to give me an idea of where I need to paint. So I've done that. We take it off. You can see it's on the tracing paper. Take it off, and you just showing you here. You can see it. It's just giving me an idea. So then we get our gel plate nice and clean. There's a picture on the back reverse because it's a different image I did on something else. Don't worry about that. So you want to put your pastel transfer down onto the gel plate. As soon as it hits the gel plate, that's where it's got to stay. If you try and move it, you'll get double image. So forget about that. Give it a bit of a rub over and it comes off. I thought it hadn't worked because it's white, but see, it's there, it's just hiding. So just to make it easier for me to paint, I thought I can use that sticker from the backing paper to try and show up a bit more. It doesn't really show up that much. Anyway, another thing I like to use is this Elco self-adhesive paper. It's basically a craft paper for children to draw on. I saw somebody else use it on a different video. All the things I'm using, I'm going to put in the description so you can understand. But it's basically a very low tack kind of masking tape. So I've just put this out to give me a border of where I want to paint. I find it works well if you want to mask out areas on your gel plate when you're doing your prints. I'm also just using my usual Amsterdam standard acrylics, paint mixing utensils, paint brushes in mixing palette. So now I've just decided on a few colours. I'm just going to whip through this bit because it's what I do in most of my other videos. It's just filling in all of the areas in block colour, what I want in what colours. Now while that's going on, why don't we have a little chat? I mean, is anybody else a little bit bored of just seeing everything about image transfers, like magazine image transfers or Laserjet image transfers? Nobody can get half of us can't get it to work. Everybody wants it to work. I mean, I'm a bit over it personally. That's why I'm just trying to find something else to do. But yeah, there's a lot of like Facebook posts. It's just the same thing churned out over and over, and it's just a bit. I just get a bit bored of it. Just scroll past, innit? Just scroll. Anyway, so we've done the main bulk of the print with the colours. Now we're putting down our wet layer so we can pull the print and put our paper down to pull the print. So just a nice thin layer worked over with the brayer, taking off my masking because I don't want that paint on my paper. Obviously I want a nice crisp edge. So this is just this is just a bit of Frisk cartridge paper, nothing special. It's about about 200 GSM I think. Then, like I do with a lot of my prints, I put a big weight on it, chopping block, load of slate placemats. I left it for about an hour and a bit. So then, you know, there wasn't really much thick, it wasn't very thick, this paint, so it came off pretty quickly and easily, didn't get any left over. As you can see, it's quite painterly. I quite like that. I quite like the little brush strokes. It gives you that kind of bit of texture, handmade look to it. So, but now this is the magic. So now we want our Laserjet image on the sticker backing paper. So this is the tricky bit, you got to line it up. I kind of make sure I look at it kind of through a light, put it in front of a light to line it up. This is difficult to do. So I've just made a little bit of a few marks here so I know where to go. So we're not actually doing this on the gel plate. This is the slight difference to what I normally do. But we want to put some matte gel medium on it. So I'm using this Liquitex stuff. This is pretty thick. It's kind of basically just like it's just like acrylic basically in consistency. So I've got my clean gel plate next to me to roll her out on because we want a nice smooth layer on this. So get the blend nice, and then it's simply just putting it onto this Laserjet image on the sticker backing paper. So we want a nice consistent layer. It can't be too thick, but it can't be too thin, because if it's too thin you're gonna get discrepancies in your print when you try to pull it back off. So you want a nice covering, same as when you're doing basically your gel plate and you're putting the wet layer on. You want not too much but not too little, so it's not dry in places. So you can't really see it. I'm trying to show you here, but you can't really see it, but it's got that bit of shine. Anyway, so once we've done that, you want to do this straight away. You don't want to hang about. So you put it on, give it a nice smooth down. And what else you can use to get a really good, you want really good contact. Really good contact, this is key. So get something like an old credit card or a scraper or something with a hard edge that you can smooth out. Get, if there's any like little air bubbles, little pockets, you kind of, it'll might squidge a little bit of the gel medium out the side, out the back if you've got too much on. I didn't really have that problem on this. You want to work it over nicely, make sure it's really flat. Then you get your chopping block, you get your placemats or whatever heavy weight, put it on. Again, I left this overnight because I ran out of time, but I reckon probably a good hour and a half just to make sure. Now listen to this sound. It's a beautiful sound, it's like magic. That's where that little mark there, what I missed, that's where my finger was touching it. But look how crisp that baby is, woo! And this could be good for people that want to do text, because that is some small itty bitty text, and look how sweet and clear that has come out. That is a great transfer. That's I couldn't get any better really, apart from that little bit there. That little bit, oh, that's where my finger was. Anyway, this is an alternative. The only thing I will say, I think you're a little bit limited. So I've only got a black and white printer. I can only do black transfer. If you've got a colour printer, a Laserjet colour printer, you might be able to do this with a colour Laserjet, I don't know. If you've got one and you try it out, please hit it in the comments, let everybody else know if it works as well. So yeah, that is an alternative. I'm really happy with this because, I mean, the detail you can get is excellent. You can get some really fine details by doing this method. I mean, it's not like my usual, I like to do one pull print, you know, I can't do that. But I've got images that I've worked on, digital images that are so finely detailed that this is going to be the only method that I can do and combine it with a gel plate. So possibilities are opened. I hope you like this. It's a little bit different. Let me know if you can do it. And like I said, it's a little bit tricky. You might not get it first time. I've done a few of these with lino blocks, so I've kind of got an idea of how it works. And also with the sticker backing paper, some sticker backings work better than others. So it's a little bit of a case of trial and error, you know, finding the things that work. But this was a basic one. I'm going to show you how I level up this method. So if you want to see that, you need to hit the video that I'm about to point to. So there's some other videos as well, check them out. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, show some love, watch some other content. I'll see you in the next video. Go check out the level up. Laters.